All righty. I have to tell you what happened. I'm moving just a little slow because guess what happened? I broke my foot. I sure did. And it was right after a Monday, a week ago. Hi, Nancy. See everybody coming on board. So quite an interesting tale, but let me just say something uh, that we're all contending with in this world, even as we are multidimensional beings, and we do have experiences or recall experiences on other levels. The fact is that, we are also very much here in this reality bite, if you will. So there's many different dynamics going on. It's a real complexity. It's not just one thing, it's many, many different things. So, I actually as somebody who was here last Monday, I remember a light blue, a sky blue. I remember that. I know we were very high into that. We touched that. It was really focused on us. It wasn't anything where we were serving the planet or our solar system or whatever. Of course, anchoring light to the planet is the key thing that we do, but also too, as the family of light, as the Amish Shaddai, we also receive many blessings. We receive empowerment, we receive divine grace. And so a lot of what happened last week was where we were receiving special, I would say, grace, like supportive. I remember it being very supportive, very, very supportive, assisting type of energy, supportive. So what I found interesting, I would be interesting to know if anybody had, of course, there are challenges in our day-to-day lives, we know that, but I mean like extra challenges or unordinary things happen, because in the breaking of my foot, I know another person who the day before when I mentioned said, I broke my foot too, and it was the left foot. And then right after that, I had somebody tell me that they were knocked down and injured the left side of their body. And then when I did go to the emergency room, I was seeing people showing up there with injuries as a result of accidents. So it's just so interesting when you kind of see that, what are the chances of all of that happening, and you're just coming into people in contact where this is happening. So, I kind of want to think that part of last Monday's was this extra grace, if you will, of a guidance or a helpfulness with energies that maybe were coming very attacking or very intensely. Because right after that meditation last Monday, as high, as beautiful and wonderful as it was, right after that, I'm calm, I'm just relaxing. And then, I had this very attacking energy come at me. And sometimes it's the people that are closest to us. So it was my son came in like out of nowhere, just started a discussion that turned into, a back and forth, sort of little argument. And then it, as opposed to, and I know better, using the breath, which is what I usually do, not letting it rattle my chain. What I could say is what we all have these emotional bodies. We try our best to stay on center, which is what our goal always is to do. But I will say that, I took on that energy and reacted, not in my higher mastery of no reaction. So I really did react. I guess I was tired for the whole, since I've been going kind of nonstop with the project that, 6 weeks out of the year I work on. I had just traveled, I just came back. There was the farmer's market. I didn't stop. So I guess the universe said, well, part of it, we're going to stop you so you can get balanced. Okay. And secondly, the other part to that is that it could have been much worse, much, much worse. So compared if something did happen or it had to happen or however dynamics came for it to happen, it could have been far worse. And so I'm very grateful that it wasn't that bad. The only thing I have to do is wear a boot. Okay, Sandra, I see your hand is up, so I know you want to share something. I did ask a question. I allow you to talk. Hi, Sandra. You can unmute. Or are you here for the first time? Okay, see your hand up, Sandra. So Sandra, if you want to just go to the chat.
Unmute.
Okay, here, now we can hear you, Sandra.
Okay, better.
Okay.
I'm new in Florida and I've been here probably 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay,
and I
welcome.
dive in, literally, and I'm on this beautiful little river in Chantilly in Sarasota. Where are you?
Where I'm located is in Sarasota as well. The Cosmic Center is located in the Meadows area, and I am further down University. Yeah. Well, welcome to Florida. And how did you find us, Sandra?
Well, I'm a licensed clinical mental health counselor in private practice,
Mhm.
and just thought that there's got to be some way for me to reach into spiritual metaphysical group somewhere, and that's how I
Well,
found
you
it.
found it.
Oh,
You
you actually have
definitely.
a building that you use, or?
Yes, we are located. In fact, what I'll do, if you Google Cosmic Center of Spiritual
Mhm.
Light, you'll see our address, which is 5041 Ringwood Meadow here in Sarasota. We do have a building. We have a farmer's market that's in front of our building on Sundays now,
Yeah,
which
I've
I
been
just
to
shared
that.
with some people. Yep. So and we are going to be opening up more. Of course, we had to follow guidelines, with the lockdown and with the pandemic and stuff. So slowly we are opening back up. Where we are having events at the center itself and also with Zoom. Because now we
Yeah,
do both because we have a national and international following. So we always have to do Zoom. But I will look forward to meeting
absolutely.
you, Sandra.
Well, I
Okay.
look forward to meeting you as well.
Okay.
Sort of,
And this
I
is your
don't have, whoops,
first time at the Anchoring Light, correct?
right.
Okay, so I'm going to explain to everybody, particularly if they're new. If not, it's fine because it's always good to hear it again, how it does work. So welcome again, Sandra, and thank you for sharing your light.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll put you on mute now. Okay, and so, okay, we have people coming on board here. So let me kind of go in and as anybody else who's new for the first time, just double check and you don't have to, you could just type in "I'm new" and the chat if you want to, or you could raise your hand and speak. Let's see here. Okay, I'll make sure I got everybody here, not missing anybody who wants to say anything. Okay, all righty. So let me just do cccosl.com. And welcome. Next week, I know some of you will be happy to hear this. This Monday will be the last time I'm doing the Anchoring Light only on Zoom. Next Monday, I plan to be back at the Cosmic Center. And for those of you that are local, we can all meet there as well as online through Zoom. So that would be the case. So anyway, just sort of telling you that, all we could do is strive as we are on our spiritual path, and goodness knows we do have tremendous support. We do. Is there a lot of stuff going on? Well, there's a whole spiritual war that's going on. So, that's a whole nother topic at another time. Well, let's just say those invisible forces will use whatever way, trying to trip you up, slow you down, because the powers that be, they don't want the ascension. They want to stay in charge. But, we're here to say, sorry, guys, there's a much higher dynamic in play. And we're part of that. We are part of, the ineffable, the supreme one, the divine creator, the one source of all, whatever you want to call it. In Hebrew, the sacred name is Yod-He, Vod-He. There's many, many things to it, but it's the one source. That one source is anchored in unconditional love. That's it. And, from the higher Azaluth worlds, the further you go away, without going into the whole cosmology as to how do things work out the way they are, the further away you are from that source. And so in the expansiveness of all that is, you have these worlds now that are so-called fallen, or there's duality, or at least for our section of creation, we are a trinity. And so what has happened is that this top part of the fallen has come down like this. If you can imagine, there's a straight line. And so here we are in duality. This is us, okay? And what we're trying to do is kind of balance this out, okay, and move up so we could attach once again to the divine higher trinity that will stabilize this. I think that's just the way of maybe explaining it in an easy kind of way. So, with the breaking of the foot, which I was saying, well, maybe it didn't happen, although deep down inside, I knew that something, this wasn't so good. Of course, I fell and other parts of my body, but the foot was the issue. And sure enough, the next day, I did go to the emergency room and I did have the x-rays. And sure enough, I did have a fracture. I think they're called the metatarsal bones, and it's the bones that go towards the toes. And it was the fifth one, which is the one that goes towards the small toe. And so that fractured. But listen to this, no matter what, right? As you stay aligned, expect the best, walk on your path, even these things that come in, they cannot literally break you. All you do, you just stay in your centeredness, you meander, you do what you have to do. For me, being in the emergency room, I have to say, it was a pretty positive experience. I didn't have any real, I just accepted the situation I was in. I stayed in a moment. I want to get this healed and fixed, know what's going on. That was the intelligent thing to do. Things just worked out in such a perfect way that I ended up seeing a podiatrist the next day. And at first, one podiatrist said they couldn't see me until January. So I'm like, oh my gosh. And if any of you maneuver the medical system, it can be challenging. But things worked out in such a way I was able to see a podiatrist the next day at 8 o'clock in the morning. Divine synchronicity all kind of came for that to happen. And I actually liked this doctor a lot. He was very knowledgeable, such a nice person. I have to say, the whole ER experience, podiatrist experience was a pleasant experience. It really was. And then I guess the universe is also saying, well, if you don't slow down, we'll slow you down. So I guess that's part of it too. I was planning to slow down maybe a week later. They said, nah, we're going to slow you down right now. So it's important to listen, and what your body is doing for you to always maintain that balance. And so the universe said, we'll balance it out for you. So what did I do last week? My foot was up and I rested the entire week. That's what I did. So anyway, the good news is I'm back, slowly getting back into the saddle now. And I expect to have a 100% full recovery. But guess what the silver lining is? Because there's always a silver lining. The silver lining is that in the process of me healing this fracture, I am getting extra calcium and vitamin D3, which I know is good. And this particular doctor did recommend that. But I also know about this supplement that was I knew about years ago called Bone Grow. Bone Grow. And I remembered it. I looked it up. It has everything that you would ever want. And it occurred to me, I said, you know what? This is not just for this particular incident that happened. I'm to take this from this point forward to the rest of my life to keep my bones strong. So anyway, what a blessing that is, you know, because it could have been much worse. So that is what I am planning to do. So if you see me next Monday, I'm going to have to be in this boot for 6 weeks, but oh well. And I don't have to wear the big boot. I have the smaller boot. So under those circumstances, the best possible outcomes did happen for me. So I'm happy about that. Okay, then. So again, we want to, for our new participant, Sandra, welcome. And welcome everybody else who's here. It's good to see everybody. We have 18 people here all together. Next week, Monday, I'll start doing chats once again on Facebook. But for now, because I've been working this project, I just decided not to do that. But next week we will. Next things will go back again as they were before. Hello, Christina. Good to see Ava, everybody on here, Barbara, Annie. Good to see everyone. All righty, so what we're going to get started, is there anybody else that's new again? And if you would just say, hi, I'm new, and just put it in the chat, that would be awesome. So first of all, for Sandra, anybody else that may be new, I want to tell you what a little bit about the anchoring light is. So the anchoring light transmission, and it really is a transmission more than a meditation, because we do hook up with the ascended realms of light. I call them the ascended masters, as also the angelic realms. Also, too, we've had experiences with Christed ETs, the family of light, which in Hebrew is known as the Amishadai. We do use the names of God. You'll see later on in our prayers, we do one that is Hebrew. And the reason why we do the powerful names of God, it has to do with Exodus and other writings, ancient writings of these sounds. That's where mantras come from that are so powerful that we can align ourselves with, you know, and brings us into an alignment. So Hebrew happens to be one of 5 sacred languages on this planet, meaning that it didn't come from sourced here, it came from the higher, what I call the upper worlds of light. And so that is Hebrew, it's Sanskrit, it's Tibetan, Egyptian, and Chinese. Those are the 5. But for the Western mind, it's just easy to do Hebrew. So, and that's only in when we do the chanting right after we do our prayers. But how the anchoring light works, when you come here with the intention to serve, why are we doing anchoring light to the planet? So the very intention of you saying, I'd like to be a part of something that is going to contribute, okay, you're coming from the higher heart of unconditional love and service already. So that places you and links us in mind and hearts together, not just on a physical level, but with the hierarchy, the spiritual hierarchy, okay, or a family of light, on the higher realms, the invisible realms, okay, that are part of this, because you could say that we are part of the spiritual hierarchy. We are the boots on the ground, but we're not working by ourselves. We're working with the ascended realms, and the ascended realms are working with us. So it's a two-way street. They need us, we need them. So we just have the body wraps. That's basically it. So as we come together as the family of light, as we hold this light, open portals, we open gateways. I mean, there's so many things that do happen when we come together, because we are that powerful. And that's what they're trying to remind us, is to remember who you are. Remember, you have this power. You have an impact, not just on the planet, but beyond the planet. So when we come together, okay, then higher octaves or dimensions and realms, and we never know how that's going to come out. Everybody who participates brings in their energetic into the mix. So the last inspiration you had, or the last concern you had, okay, or you went to some workshop, or you went to a retreat, you bring in that energy, you saw something, you bring that in, that all goes into this mix, if you will, of the most amazing, as I understand it to be, the most beautiful colors and tones and geometries, because they're all connected. All of us have a sound. And when we say our prayers, okay, our voice, okay, and even just the thoughts, okay, is unique to us. Can you imagine, in all the multiverse and all that there is, we are still unique individually. And we do this harmonic. That's what it is, like an orchestra, if you can imagine these amazing tones. Everything has a tone in the multiverse. Everything has a tone, everything has color, and everything has a geometry. So we just bring in our own tone, color, and geometries. It interconnects with other tones, geometries, and colors. You could say it's like we are the tree of life branching into the other trees of life, branching into the other trees of life, and so forth. So our experience is always different. We never know what it's going to be because it depends on who shows up. Okay, so that's just a little background of what it is. And this will accelerate your spiritual path for sure. The ascended realms definitely make themselves aware of their presence in whichever way that happens for you. Okay, so every now and again, we do put an intention for it. Usually we don't, but sometimes if there's something that comes up and there is a need, we put an intention. So I did put an intention for healing. I figured I'm not the only one that needs some extra focus on healing. We get healed anyway when we do this, but an extra focus on healing. I'm putting that intention. I'm going to be working with this stone. And I really am not sure the name of this stone, but it is this most beautiful blue-green, and I was attracted to use it for this intention of healing for us, however that is going to unfold. Of course, I do use this bowl, this beautiful citrine bowl, and what will happen, we will say our prayers. After we say our prayers, I do the bowl, and then after that, we go into our meditation. All righty. So first of all, I'd like for everybody to just now take a deep breath as we get started.